They call us quiet, shy, even awkward. But what if I told you that introverts hold a hidden power that shapes history, drives creativity, and changes lives without ever shouting about it? Think about it. While the world celebrates loud voices and constant attention, the real game changers often move in silence. The thinkers, the creators, the problem solvers who don't need a stage to make an impact. Today, we're unlocking the quiet power of introverts, the strength that thrives in stillness and speaks louder than any crowd. In a world that never stops talking, introverts notice the details everyone else misses. While the loudest voice pushes to be heard, the quietest person is often the one seeing the whole story unfold. Imagine a group discussion at school or work. The extroverts are quick to throw out ideas, talking over each other, filling the space with noise. The introvert, though, they sit back. They're quiet. Some might even mistake that quiet for disinterest. But in reality, the introvert is studying everything. The way someone hesitates before answering, the flicker of doubt in another person's face, the patterns that others overlook because they're too busy trying to win the spotlight. This isn't passivity, it's strategy. It's the quiet gathering of information that later becomes powerful insight. Take relationships, for example. An introvert often notices when a friend is having a tough day, even if that friend never says a word. They'll pick up on the softer clues, the heavy sigh, the change in posture, the way someone avoids eye contact. This ability to see between the lines is what makes introverts incredibly empathetic and trustworthy. They catch what others don't, and that's how they forge deeper bonds. Even in history, this pattern holds true. Think of great scientists, inventors, and writers. Many were introverts who thrived not by being the loudest, but by watching carefully. Charles Darwin wasn't the boldest adventurer. He was a quiet observer who noticed patterns in nature that no one else had pieced together. His silence wasn't weakness. It was the fuel for discoveries that reshaped science. In business, the same power applies. Some of the most successful leaders don't lead by dominating a room. They lead by listening first, understanding the dynamics, and then speaking with precision when it counts. Their words carry more weight because they're not constantly throwing them around. The truth is, being quiet doesn't mean being invisible. It means conserving energy. It means studying, noticing, and stepping forward at the exact right moment. And here's the twist. Silence for introverts isn't empty. It's loaded with information. Every pause, every observation, every detail absorbed becomes part of a bigger picture. And when the time comes, that picture gives introverts an edge no one saw coming. When the noise fades, introverts come alive. Silence isn't just an empty space for them. It's fertile ground where ideas grow roots. While the world races to fill every second with noise, introverts step back, letting thoughts deepen, mature, and connect in surprising ways. Take a classroom or workplace meeting. The extroverts are firing off ideas rapid fire, one after another. It feels like energy. It feels like progress. But then the introvert, after sitting quietly and piecing things together, finally speaks up. And suddenly, their one idea shifts the entire conversation. Why? Because while others were rushing to speak, the introvert was digging for substance. This pattern plays out everywhere. A songwriter might spend hours alone, strumming the same chords, letting lyrics slowly surface from silence. A designer may sketch quietly for weeks before unveiling a concept that feels instantly timeless. A writer might disappear into journals no one sees, only to emerge with a story that touches millions. It's no accident that some of the most brilliant creations in history came from quiet minds. J.K. Rowling dreamed up Harry Potter on a delayed train, not in a brainstorming session. Steve Wozniak designed the first Apple computer mostly alone, tinkering quietly before sharing it with Steve Jobs. Even Bill Gates retreats into what he calls think weeks, disappearing from the world with stacks of books, just to let his mind wander and discover new ideas. But this isn't just about famous names. Look at everyday life. Maybe you've had a moment where a problem nagged at you all day, and the solution only came when you were lying awake at night in total silence. Or maybe you've noticed that your best ideas arrive in the shower, on a walk, or while sipping coffee alone in the morning. That's not coincidence. That's what happens when stillness gives the mind room to breathe. For introverts, creativity often feels less like pushing and more like uncovering. The answer was always there. Silence simply gave it space to reveal itself. And that's the quiet advantage. Introverts don't just think. They think deeper. They connect dots that others overlook. And in a world full of fast answers, that kind of patience can feel revolutionary. Because the truth is, the most powerful ideas rarely come in noise. They're born in the calm, nurtured in solitude, and revealed at just the right moment. Power isn't always loud. Influence doesn't always stand at the front of the room with a microphone. For introverts, influence often flows quietly, through action, through presence, and through the rare words they choose to share. Think about this. When someone speaks all the time, their words blur together. But when the quiet person speaks, people notice. Their silence makes every word stand out. It's like punctuation in a noisy world. Many introverts lead this way, not by commanding attention, but by earning respect. They lead by example, by consistency, and by making others feel heard. People naturally trust them because they know the introvert isn't just waiting to talk, they're truly listening. Look at leaders like Abraham Lincoln, who was soft-spoken but guided a nation through its darkest days. Or Rosa Parks, who sparked a movement not with a fiery speech, but with one calm, firm act of refusal. Their power didn't come from volume. It came from quiet strength. Even today, in everyday life, introverts influence more than they realize. A teacher who patiently supports a struggling student. A friend who offers calm advice when emotions run high. A coworker who notices the overlooked problem and quietly solves it before it spreads. These moments might not grab headlines, but they shape lives. That's the heart of introvert influence. It doesn't demand attention, but it changes everything. It whispers instead of shouts. And sometimes a whisper can echo louder than the loudest roar. So, yes, introverts hold a quiet power that changes the way we think, create, and lead. But what if that power isn't just about silence? What if it's also about something deeper? A force that lies beneath every quiet moment, shaping not just what introverts do, but who they truly are. And once you discover it, nothing will ever feel the same again.